Hallo miteinander, I'm Geschichte6 and this is the demo of Labyrinth of Touhou Try. The boss of the Mystic Stratum's second floor not only marks the end of the current gameplay, it's also the most eldritch creature we've seen yet. This many-eyed monstrosity calls itself the Protector of Sumireko. It must be as foolish as it is gross, as the level 40 Sumireko that saved our hides against Ran is narratively still with our posse, even though she's not available for combat. How laughable, it's probably guarding a fake Sumireko. Almost by tradition, the battle opened with Encroaching Nightmare, a spell Kush has no problem withstanding. We should, however, have someone else in the first slot as the fight goes on. The most effective elements against the Protector are fire, wind, and especially nature. When an attack targets its mind on top, it'll be extra potent, and there is no one who matches this profile better than one of our newcomers, Suwako. Froggy has always been odd in Labyrinth of Touhou, as she knows spells that utilize either only her attack or magic stat. Well, if you concentrate on raising her magic, the spell Native God Scourge reaches disgustingly good numbers here, almost 3000. Suwako is speedy but has low defenses, making her the typical glass cannon you need to switch out before an attack of a boss comes. That we didn't do that in time and she still lived somehow is something you should never bank on. Sumireko's Protector has the most defining gimmick of giving your characters so-called occult buffs. Kush and Remu have these stuck on them currently, and the buffs will seem beneficial at first. Unfortunately, the boss also has occult trigger attacks at its disposal. Whenever those happen, the attack changes depending on how many characters with occult buffs you have active. Our second newcomer just entered the fray, Kanako. She has been known as a mage that can take a hit or 5 in the previous installments. Nowadays though, I'd say she leans into tanking more than ever. No one in our roster is more durable. Her buffing skill Kuzui Clearwater puts additional barrier hit points on others or herself, which means she now has over 1000. There may or may not be a drawback to this spell though, and I'll tell you in a minute. Remu just got hit quite hard, and it was by said occult trigger. She was the only one around with an occult buff, so she was bound to be targeted. Had we kept just one more person in our lineup with a buff, Occult Trigger Zenercard Shuriken would have turned into an even deadlier multi-target attack that you are really likely to lose members to. It's very important to not lose sight of who is afflicted by occult buffs, and to also hurry up, as they accumulate over the battle, seemingly without ever running out. Back to Kanako, notice that she has an ailment, heaviness. That was actually a side effect from Kuzui Clearwater. Heaviness annoyed us a lot last episode, yet for Kanako, this bad effect can unexpectedly be good. The Mountain Goddess has passive skills corresponding to the ailment that give her significant defense and mind bonuses. This goes so far that she has another skill that makes heaviness last longer on her than it normally would. Oh, poor Kanako. The original Zun art was so unflattering, sitting all compact, having the bulky shrine ropes and pillars behind her, all rounded off with the grandma haircut. I think she was meant to look slender and facially young, and still to the fandom she became ancient, thick and chunky. So, apart from native goddess Suwako, who also has synergy skills with Kanako, other well-performing damage dealers are Yukari, Remilia, Patchouli and Alice. If you put the latter to some use like we were, There's a skill she has that makes Artful Sacrifice target enemy defense instead of mind. Remember to actually toggle that one off before facing the Protector of Sumireko, as you would literally throw away damage because of it here. We may have talked about the danger of occult buffs, but if that were the only thing to look out for, this would be a very underwhelming finale to the demo. The moment you reduce the boss's hit points under 33%, which would be about 8,300, you are under pressure to end the battle fast. We are already under said threshold, so when the Protector gets its next turn, it'll use it to shapeshift. Since that means we have no attacks to fear, it's safe and smart to fully go on the offensive. Kanako and Aya will do a fine job switching our best damage dealers in and out. Occult Convergence is the name of the transformation, which is mainly the Protector dimming its lights, so his mouth, eyes and overall fleshiness are more prominent. On the very next turn, the boss is scheduled to use what you could call a battle ender. Fortunately, our timing was as good as intended, so we didn't need to see it. Said battle ender will probably not kill Kanako, so you will likely recover from it if you aren't on your last leg. Now who should we shame with the Goober Award this time? We didn't switch in Patchouli, but we could've in an emergency. Marissa again? She actually has synergy with Alice through the Malice Cannon skill, even when she's not active. If we stepped on the event icon behind the boss, we would learn that all the Gensokians were goobers. That's also where the demo of Labyrinth of Touhou Tri ends, so make sure to return to base first and save. With that, I'm Gesh86, and perhaps this series will return when the full game is out. Bis bald!